This is a true story which I had the opportunity to witness from beginning to end. Because this happened to my mother, not a stranger. One morning my father made breakfast for the whole family to eat because my mother was not feeling well. When my mom came out of the bedroom, her face was very haggard and worn out. I was worried, so I asked her what was wrong. She also made no secret of it. She said that she had a terrible nightmare in which a person appeared. Someone my mother didn't want to talk about. A man who died many years ago. This person was my uncle, Lou, who died of liver disease a few years ago. My mother dreamt of him subconsciously. She wondered why he was not dead and what he came to see her for. My uncle also said that he was not dead. He was currently locked in a coffin so he could not go out, and told my mother to quickly ask my father to come and remove him from the coffin. My uncle said that he was just playing dead. That day, after waking up, he found himself locked in a coffin. He used all 10 fingers to scratch and scream, but no one listened and he could not get out. Then he held out 10 fingers to show my mother the pain he had to endure. He screamed in anger. His face turned into a devil, forcing my mother to go to see my aunt and release him. My mother was frightened by him and screamed loudly and sat up out of that nightmare. My uncle was a bad person when he was still alive. Whenever he got drunk, he would beat my aunt mercilessly. He would break things and treated his siblings badly. So everyone in the family hated him, and my mother didn't know why she dreamt of him. After a while she fell asleep again. Then she continued to dream of my uncle coming, and he begged her to tell my aunt to let him go. Just like that, my uncle made my mother toss and turn all night. She was unable to sleep. Dad told me to call my aunt to ask what was going on, but my mom didn't want that. She didn't want to talk to her then. Even stranger than that, one night when I got home from school, as soon as I entered through the door, I saw my aunt sitting on the sofa of the house. This time my aunt came without telling us first, which surprised me too. At this time the atmosphere in the house seemed quieter than usual. Everyone had sad expressions. I later found out that my aunt often dreamt of my uncle, dreams about resentment and mourning, and about him who had just died. Every time she dreamt of him, he cursed her. "Damn it! You hate me so much that you buried me alive!" He even strangled, tormented, threatened to kill my aunt if she didn't let him out. My aunt almost dreamt of him coming often. She also fell into a state of depression. She couldn't take it anymore. When my grandmother heard the news, she saw this and she decided to invite an exorcist. By using 7 peach wooden stakes, he stuck it onto my uncle's grave, sealing his soul for several years. My aunt never dreamt of my uncle since then, but she didn't expect my mother to dream of him coming back at all. My father was also very curious. Why didn't she open the grave to see if there was something wrong with him? A few days later, my aunt and my family went back to my hometown. We went to the uncle's grave to excavate. Everyone proceeded to open the coffin and everyone was anxiously waiting to see what was inside. The moment the coffin lid was opened, a whiff of white gas flew out of the coffin. No one could imagine my uncle lying in the coffin, reaching out his hand as if scratching the lid of the coffin. The tips of his fingers were almost crushed, looking painful before he died. There were also scratches on the coffin lid, and everyone could understand how helpless and desperate he must have been. Which meant my uncle could have been buried alive when he was just drunk and unconscious. And when he woke up, he tried to find a way out of the coffin. Finally, my uncle was indeed buried again. My mother had not dreamt of my uncle since then. Only my aunt sometimes dreams of him with great regret.